welcome back to the channel, EGGY Fits. Before I get started, I just want to say thanks to the new subscribers. So I just want to say thanks to these guys on screen. Caniat, I'm not the best reader. Kitty Boy 1, Common Digala Martez Lopez, that's a cool name. Thomas Calvert and Scott Griffin. I'll say thanks for subscribing, and if you want to see your name here in the next video, subscribe. Okay, let's get into it. So this stuff is called Jumpax, and what it is, it's a floating subfloor that you can put over anything. So this customer didn't want this ply damaged in any way. It was basically she wanted to keep it good, so we're putting this down so it can float over the top, and nothing will be glued to it, nailed to it, or anything like that. You can use it in sort of places where, say it's an old cottage and you've got like flagstones, but you don't want to rip the flagstones up or latex over it, you want to keep them. You can put this over the top. It won't be very good because, you know, flagstones all over the place, but yeah, you could do that. If you had a floor with no damp-proof membrane, you can put the big sheets down, you know, the big like plastic polythene down, and then put this over the top, so it's an instant sort of floor. And if you push for time, say you don't want to latex it and wait for the latex to go off and all that, you can put this down and lay on it straight away. So hi, it's me in the editing room. Just watched this back and thought to myself, there's another way of using it. What you can do is, say you had laminate before and all your skirtings are that much higher off the floor, say you put the skirtings on after, you could use this to make the difference up, because it's about the same thickness of laminate. So say you had a big gap around the edge of your skirtings, you could put this down to make up that height and then put the floor on, and you don't have to worry about filling in around the edge. That's another use for it, so it's pretty good. Oh yeah, as you can see, so I'm laying out, they're they're not 8, so they are actually 4 foot by 2 foot wide, the same as hardboard. And the way you lay them is the same as hardboard. You lay them in a brick pattern, so you lay a full board off and then you lay half a board, so you offset it by that brick. So here I am cutting a board in half. And now I'm going to lay the other half upside down so the underlay doesn't get in the way, and I just cut the side off. The one what's already laid down, the full piece, which is on that side, is laid off the nice straight wall. I mean, you could cut it in both sides if you wanted, but this skirting was pretty straight. So, and that side over there, no, that side, sorry, that side has a doorway further up, so that's why I wanted to cut that in. It nearly went without cutting it in anyway. So yeah, you could just cut it out with a straight blade or concavian blade. And you know, these are the ones that you put on the floor, because if you see that silver backing, that's sort of like an underlay cushion, and that's the bottom, so you put that down. So you can see the silver there, and you're just scribing it in like normal. Lay one on top of the other, and then use the piece what's the same thickness to cut it in. So I'm just measuring the distance, it's overlapping the other one, and using that to mark around the door frame at the top. Later in the video you'll see the top coat where I cut around the door frame. So now the bottom layer is all done, it's time for the top. So the top has a nice smooth topping on it, and on the reverse of the smooth topping there's actually glue. And underneath this polythene, that's the bottom layer, has glue as well. So the two glues stick together and they grab. So it makes a really solid two-part stick, adhesion, whatever you want to call it. So you want to pull this polythene off, and as you can see, I've sort of put it in the middle, and that's because the boards actually do have markers on it. So you offset the top layer, so you don't want the joints to line up, offset by a little corner section, then a straight down, and that, and you line it up sort of halfway on the joint and a quarter into the top tile, quarter into the bottom. As you can see, that's how you lay it off. That's how the instructions tell you. So none of the joints line up. The key is not to have cuts inside. You always have, when you're laying it out, you always have salvage edges against salvage edges, and the cuts are all around the edge. Okay, so we put one on top of the other. We use that one to back mark. The walls are slightly off, so I've moved to a smaller piece because of the skirting is a bit Bowie, a bit David Bowie. Got to cut the backing out because the backing always protrudes. There we are, nice and tight. Not so tight it bows, you know, just good enough that you would put ply down in the same way. Always try and get rid of your polythene and the bits you cut off, because you don't want any of that to re-stick to any of the glue. I like this floor because, like I said, it's like an instant floor. Once you've put this down, you're ready to go. You don't have to microcoat it, you don't have to feather finish it, latex it, anything like that. You just put this down, it's a floating floor, and it's ready to rock and roll. So say you had a floor that was really dusty and the concrete's cracking, and every time you sweep it you get more and more dust up, and it's just horrible, and you don't want to go to the extent of latexing or anything like that. This stuff is what you want. Put this over the top, be ideal. And say you're renting a place. You're renting a place. The landlord's like, don't touch our floors. You can't put anything on it. You can with this. So you put this down. The landlord comes in. What do you mean you're doing? You say, well, it's actually a floating floor, mate. So your floor's tickety-boo underneath. I just wanted something a bit nicer. That's what you can do. So this is like traditional sort of marking out around the door frame. Cutting out. If you want to see this a bit more detail, then check out my channel. There's more videos and more in depth of how to cut around frames and stuff. So there it is, look, in one foul swoop. It's pretty easy to cut as well. You can use, like I said, concave, or you can use a straight blade. Comes up pretty easily. You just want your joints nice and tight because it gives you the perfect floor to lay over. Just remember to take the polythene off. I did have a lad who completely forgot and did a hole under cupboard, sort of under the stairs cupboard, and when I went in to fit the tiles over the top, they were moving all over the place, so I take it all back up and redo it. This floor is so satisfying. Once you start pushing it down, once it locks down, it's nice and smooth. There's nothing like it. So satisfying. So here we are around the door frame. So I'm going to mark this long length, take off the excess, spin it around because we want the salvage edge against the salvage edge, which is factory edge. I've got the spare piece and I'm just marking all my long lengths with a pencil. The pencil marks really well on this. And I'm going to just use the side of that to gauge all my other lengths, or widths, sorry. And there it is, all drawn out. There's like loads of different techniques how to cut around door frames. That's just one of them. Whatever fits, whatever works really. So just need to take a little bit off in places. And once this polythene comes off, how satisfying that would be to stick that back down. There we go, push it down, rub it in. Oh, look at that, all done. So that floor is floating, it doesn't damage the floor underneath, and it's ready for any type of flooring you want to put over the top. Anything you want. And we're going to put those tiles down, those lovely blue tiles. And there they are. That's the job all done. So this is Antico. Just cleaning it up, there's a bit of glue there, but if you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.